Late vote in Jefferson City. How does it affect your pocket?
Thwarted, a would-be robber stopped in his tracks.
And Moneymaker, is the crowd worth all that traffic? KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
The 2011 legislative session just ended a few seconds ago with some very big decisions. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Reek.
And I'm Blake Hansen. Lawmakers scrambled to finish their goals, and a big agenda item, energy. KOMU 8's Christy Lewis is live in the studio with news on the nuclear reaction bill.
Thanks, Blake. I just talked to the sponsor's office secretary, and she said the bill did not pass. So the nuclear permit bill actually hit the Senate floor just minutes before the end of the session. Lawmakers took it up at 5:20, and the bill was still hit the floor another time. It would have to be reintroduced during the next legislative session.
Christy, thank you very much. Tax credits were debated during the final hours of the legislative session. KOMU 8's Jonathan Ketz joins us on the phone with details of this last-minute wheeling and dealing.
Jim, it was some last-minute wheeling, dealing, but however, this House bill did not pass. Now, it was on the table earlier on today, and it dealt with tax credits, and it was in a conference committee, but it, however, died. So members in the House tried tagging this bill on to a couple of other bills. Unfortunately, that did not work out for them. Now, this tax credit bill would have cost the state $500 million and authorized $360 million in 15 years, and was to build the Lambert Airport Chinese air cargo hub. Missouri senators wanted less savings helped out by some of the businesses that would have been benefiting from this, but the House, however, simply would not go along with that. Now, a Kansas City state rep says that this bill would have helped out farmers in Missouri, who he says already need a lot of help right now.
That we do have, all these different things that we can export from Missouri, whether it be beef, whether it be, different agricultural products. We can send it over and use that as part of our trade. I think that opens up a whole new market for us that isn't available right now, and it's right in our backyard.
We think it's helpful for anyone up and down Interstate 44 or Interstate 70. It's helpful to agriculture, and the nice thing about Airtropolis and some of the plans that's been put forward, there's no money up front. These are performance-based tax credits.
Now, we've got the Governor Nixon press conference here coming up in about 10 minutes, along with both the House and Senate press conferences coming up in just a little bit. So, Jim, much more for you guys coming up tonight at 9 and 10, but for now, we will send it back on over to you.
Dreary day across central Missouri today, and we are continuing to see those conditions. Stick around with us as you take a look with me at Live Doppler 8 First Alert Radar. We are seeing a very nice counterclockwise spiral of this precipitation as it continues to push off further to the east, and that'll be the case overnight tonight, so we're not going to see the rain too much longer. Those showers are going to come to an end, and we will just be left with a mostly cloudy sky as temperatures fall back into the upper 40s. For full details on what you can expect for the remainder of graduation weekend, stick around for my forecast.
All right, thanks, Michelle. One day after a man led police on a shooting spree and chase from Fort Wood to Rolla, police are saying that the suspect had no known targets. KOMU 8's Nicole Najolik is live in the studio with new details from Rolla. Nicole?
Blake, police say they have that man, 31-year-old Cody Wilcoxon. Wilcoxon is in the Phelps County Jail on a $1 million bond. 150 officers, including a SWAT team, took part in catching the suspect. Now, you're watching video of the chase shot from someone's cell phone. Police say Wilcoxon shot approximately 80 rounds from an AK-47 during the course of the 5-hour chase, but hit no one. Police say they found meth in Wilcoxon's car, but they can't speculate whether this had anything to do with the suspect's behavior. And as of right now, they can't find a motive or even a possible target for Wilcoxon. Police say investigators are still gathering information and learning more.
They found other evidence. For one, they found evidence that the subject had probably been involved in several burglaries. So it's just, again, a continuation of gathering all the facts, evidence, and just talking to those folks that need to be spoke to.
Crane said prosecutors will file charges against Wilcoxon in 2 jurisdictions. He said Phelps County will charge Wilcoxon with 4 or possibly more felonies, while Pulaski County will have its own charges.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Police are searching for a would-be robber after the owner of a Columbia business chased him out of the business this morning. Witnesses say a man dressed in all black walked into Flo's Pharmacy at around 8 a.m. and flashed a knife. The owner of the store then chased the would-be robber out with his own gun. Columbia police still have not located the suspect. He was last seen leaving Flo's Pharmacy in a cream or pearl Lexus SUV. Police want anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 875-TIPS.
This weekend marks the end of a long journey for MU seniors.
And with graduation comes family and friends who all need a place to stay. KOMU8's Brianna Jones shows us how MU's graduation weekend affects local hotels.
The lobby may seem empty, but that's no indication of how busy this weekend will actually be. Hotels say they're booked solid.
It's extremely busy with it being graduation weekend and one that we look forward to every year. We did fill up about the end of April and have been full ever since.
Hargroves Hotel isn't the only one reaping the benefits of graduates, families, and friends flocking to Columbia. One hotel has been booked for a year. Others sold out of rooms more than 6 months ago. Hargroves says big weekends like this one make it easier to deal with months that have less traffic.
It's another reason that the university is such a vital part of this community, is because it is one of those weekends that you can count on and know that without a doubt we are going to be busy. And perhaps if people are cutting back in some other areas, graduation is definitely not one.
Regency Hotel in downtown Columbia is one of the few
revenue, I think.
Brianna Jones, KOMU8 News, Columbia.
MU will award more than 5,300 degrees by Sunday. Photos of Osama bin Laden caused quite a stir.
If we had the pictures, would you want to see them?
And we've seen quite a bit of rainfall out across central Missouri, and that has prompted some flash flooding concerns. We're going to talk about that and your weekend forecast coming up next on KOMU 8 News at 6.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with meteorologist Michelle Bogowitz.
Welcome back. It is 6:10 on this Friday night. You're taking a live look out over the Lake of the Ozarks in high definition, where those folks are continuing to see rain showers. A lot of the viewing areas starting to clear out of these, but not the case down south. Want to go ahead and give a shout out to the third graders over at Grant Elementary School. Miss Underwood's class had a lot of fun with them yesterday, and they asked a lot of really good questions. So thanks for having me on over for a KOMU8 weather school visit. We'll go ahead and send it back on inside, and now we can take a look together at Live Doppler 8 First Alert. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder for Sunday, but we're going to dry things out as we enter your work week and eventually warm back up to where we should be. But there is going to be more rain in store as we head towards next weekend. Now it is time for the First Alert Weather IQ question of the day. True or false? A trigger mechanism is any process that initiates precipitation or storm development.
I'll probably let Jim answer first because I might have seen a sneak peek.
I mean, it looks true.
But is it?
Well, I'm going true.
I'll say
you would be true. And you know what? For everyone at home, I know for a fact that they flash the Weather IQ question up before the newscast.
I promise.
So while I'm sitting at home and Jim's getting it right.
They do?
Yep.
I didn't look, though. I
didn't?
Yep.
Well, then I'll get them right every time.
I know.
Just got to come on here early.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right. Well, taking a picture is one thing.
Showing that picture is something else. We'll explain coming up.
Welcome back. The White House says it will not release photos of Osama bin Laden.
That is not a unanimous decision right here in mid-Missouri. In this week's Your View, KOMU8 Sarah Hill looks at the controversy surrounding those photos.
It is important for us to make sure that very graphic photos of somebody who was shot in the head are not floating around as an incitement to additional violence or as a propaganda tool.
Despite that White House announcement, some news organizations are still pushing to get a look. According to the radio television, as we report your view of the news.
Well, the Missouri softball team plays the Cyclones this weekend.
Right. First, they had to deal with a downpour. Take a look. We'll preview the weekend series next.
Welcome back. Once those showers and thunderstorms roll out of here tonight, we'll be left with some dry time for tomorrow, and then they're back at it on Sunday.
First up in tonight's photo finish, Matt and Sherry give us a glimpse of their 5-year-old daughter Molly and her fish Papa. And then Ada reminds us of the beautiful summer sunsets, this one from Jefferson City. Says photos and the stories behind them. We'll put them on KOMU 8 News at 5 and 6. So you want to share it at KOMU.com.
By the way, congratulations to the 2011 graduating class. Have a great weekend, everyone.
It's going to be, hope it rains away.